Hello writers, it is day 2 of the 7-day writing challenge and it's Joanne Fedler here, and I hope that you have all had the most fabulous 2 days working on your writing. I just am loving seeing what's happening in the Facebook group. Every time I go in there and I see another post, another photograph of a page full of writing, it kind of really just makes me happy. It's kind of my porn, I reckon, is seeing writers writing or just seeing pages full of writing. It just gives me such a tingly feeling. So thank you all, those of you who have been there and been posting there and sharing your insights and what you've experienced over the course of the last 2 days. It's just really been very heartwarming for me because it feels like everything that I had hoped that this would be and the way that people would react to it, it feels like it's at least landing for some of you, and really that makes me feel fabulous. So thank you so much. So today I just wanted to check in with all of you and to look at some of the comments about dream writing and about random list keeping. I see a lot of you had a lot of fun with random list keeping. Whoever would have thought that keeping lists could be so much fun and could generate so much material? Isn't it amazing? I have actually written lots of books starting with lists. I'm like an obsessive list keeper, and not just, a list of things to do. It's the way that I organize myself always with lists, but I've always kept lists in my journal. It started off when I was little, where I used to keep a list of all the boys that I had a crush on, and all the film stars that I had a crush on, and the books that I loved, and the movies that I loved, and places I wanted to visit, and things that I wanted to do. And it's, over time, things I wanted to teach my children, and stories that I wanted to write, or things I was curious about, and I'd always just kept these lists. And what I found was that they were incredibly generative. They would generate a lot of writing material. And when you come to writing a book and you're looking at particularly something like a non-fiction book, you can actually even use one of those lists as a kind of contents page, or at least begin to use your list as a way of generating a contents page and ideas. And when you're looking for themes in a particular story, having a random list of things, you can really just use that random list and try and find a character that represents different aspects of that list in order to illuminate a theme, the paradox of that theme as well. So lists are fantastic, and the more that you can generate, the more ideas that you have around them, the more prolific you will see. And then every item in a list, it by itself can generate its own list. It's got this incredible capacity to just keep going and going and going. So have fun with those lists, and if you have any other ideas about other kinds of lists that you think other people might enjoy making, post them on the Facebook group. I'm really keen to hear what other things come up for you in doing that. So I had a couple of questions about, or comments actually, about the dream writing, and I wanted to just answer some of those questions. One of the questions was, how does dream writing enable us to generate our own writing prompts? Now, this is one of the reasons I like to teach you dream writing, is that what it shows you is how endlessly creative you are. Once you have done the dream writing and you have pulled out those golden phrases or golden nuggets, you can always use one of those random phrases or golden nuggets as the start of your next writing prompt. And if you think it's just a fragment and how could it work, I want to tell you that Virginia Woolf used to end her writing by stopping in the middle of a sentence. She would stop mid-sentence at the end of a day and come back the next day and finish that sentence. There is something about fragments and unfinished thoughts that help us to remain creative. Sometimes when in our head we have the idea of a completed thought, or we have completed something in us sort of closes, but if we leave it open, we're only sort of halfway there. There is something in your brain that actually allows you to come back into it in a way that is incredibly creative. So that is one way that you can use your own golden nuggets as writing prompts for your next exercise. And you can see it becomes a fractal within a fractal within a fractal, because every time you do a new dream writing exercise, you pull out new fragments, and those can become their own writing prompts, and so on and so on and so on. So you can just keep generating this stuff. And it's one of the things I wanted to teach you, was to show you that you are endlessly creative. There is no limit to your own creativity. The thing about dream writing, I've had some questions about, you know, when you're doing your dream writing and you start to digress, you start with a writing prompt and you feel like you're digressing, but then you feel like you've got to come back to the writing prompt. Should you come back to the writing prompt, or should you digress? Now, I want to say that you should just follow where the writing is taking you. Wherever that is. If you don't even call it a digression, what I love about dream writing is it's like dreaming. We don't rationalize when we're dreaming, oh, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense. We just, you know, follow our dreams and we let our dreams take us wherever they're taking us. And it's the same with dream writing. You just want to follow wherever the thought is going. And if you're feeling a pull towards something, never disengage from the pull. Always lean into the pull. Whatever is pulling you, go with that. That's where the attraction is. That's where you want to go with it. So there are no rules about dream writing other than the ones that I've given you, which is to time it, give yourself a writing prompt, and to keep your hand moving across the page. Other than that, the whole point, as you will see from the comments in the Facebook group, is it is to loosen you up. The important point about dream writing is I want you to experience your freedom, not rules, because we all think that we've got to start off with the rules, and what rules do is they cramp us. You do have to learn the rules of writing, you do have to learn the craft of writing, but not before you've learned your freedom, not before you've tasted that freedom of who you are. Once you have that, yes, you do want to learn the craft of writing. You do want to learn how to make your writing more effective and to craft your language and to structure what you're doing. But your freedom is the most important aspect of your writing voice. It is getting in touch, not the shoulds, not the musts, not the have-tos, but that incredible creative freedom that just comes out of you. That's where the blossoming happens. That's where all the juiciness is. So that's where I want you to always default into, into the freedom, because school and whatever has happened to us cramps us, clogs us up, rusts us over. It's so difficult for us to start loosening up those muscles, and just even seeing how much freedom people feel just being told, write rubbish, write crap, forget about the grammar, you know, forget about all of these things, just write. It's such a small offering to say to somebody, just feel freedom to write, but it's been amazing to see the comments in the Facebook group about the impact that having that freedom, just the permission to just write rubbish gives us. We put way too much pressure on ourselves up front. And therefore we lose our freedom. You know, freedom comes with just being able to just dive in and see where things take you. So that's what I want you to learn. I want to teach you your freedom first and then teach you the rules. You can also use dream writing, as some of you already have discovered, not only for yourself, but if you're writing fiction, you can use them to writing to character, to work out who your character is, to learn more about your character. So this dream writing can be used no matter what kind of writing you're actually doing. The most important point with dream writing, as I said, is to keep your pen moving, to follow your digressions. If you want this, the prompt is to help you to sort of reset when you get stuck and you're not getting anywhere with it. You just come back to the prompt, come back to the prompt, come back to the prompt until something gets you moving again. But if that digression is pulling you and you start to feel into something, go with that. The important point here is to start to learn to trust yourself. Having to always get clarity, should I do this, shouldn't I do that, is also an indication of not trusting yourself. You actually know what you need to do. You think I'm the one that's telling you what to do, but actually you know better than I know what you need to do. So I'm just here to guide you a little bit and give you permission, but really the person who needs to give you permission is you, not me. Okay, so some other questions that have come up today already yesterday was, what about the competition at the end and the scholarship that I'm offering for my Author Awakening adventure, and am I going to be talking about publishing in this 7-day writing challenge? So a few things. I'm not going to be talking about publishing in the 7-day writing challenge. We're not there yet. We're still in the process of figuring out what we want to say, and we're still in the process of finding our writing voice. And at some point in the future, I may very well run a 7-day writing challenge around something like what publishers are looking for and the best way to maximize your opportunities to get published. But I don't want people to get hung up on that as an outcome. The most important thing right now is for you to connect in with why you want to write and what it is that you're doing in this challenge, and then worry about publishing later. We want to put things in the right order, and the first thing we need to get sorted out is what we're writing about. Have we got something of value to say? How can we express it in the best way? How can we find our writing voice? And unfortunately, in 7 days, there's only really so much that I can do with you. But you will have a good sense of what steps you need to take next by the end of the 7-day writing challenge. I just hope that what this challenge is going to do is those of you who realize at the end of this that writing is more than a hobby, something very important to you for whatever reason, important in your life. I will also point you in the direction of the next steps that you can take, because the whole point, of course, at the end of these 7 days is not for you to go, oh, well, that was fun, or I'm going to do pole dancing next week. Not that I have anything against pole dancing. Do pole dancing, but keep writing as well. Make sure that writing stays part of your life. By the end of this week, maybe you'll have a really strong sense that, wow, there really is something in me that needs more attention. There really is a book in me. There really is the possibility that I have something that needs more further exploration. And I hope that this week will wake that up in you, and you'll know then what steps you need to take after that. So I do have an online writing course that starts at the end of June called the Author Awakening Adventure, that I am offering a full scholarship to the value of $2,500 to participate. It's an 8-week online writing course, which is incredibly extensive. It works with consciousness and craft. And I will talk closer to the end of this week about how you can apply for that scholarship. It's a competition we're running at the end of this week. There are also partial scholarships and half scholarships that we'll be offering. So if you're interested in hanging around for that, then you will have the opportunity to apply for that. And I will talk towards the end of this week about, what I'm looking for in terms of the people that do that online writing course. So I think that's basically it for today. The last thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to announce the first winner of the set of writing prompt cards. Now, I said I was going to give away a set of my writing prompt cards every day to somebody in the group. So I've been trawling through the Facebook feed and looking at everyone's comments, and it was really, really difficult to choose somebody. And this is not a winner. It's just more, there were like 20 of you that I would love to have just said, you can all have a set of cards. We're posting them out. So I am going to be limiting it today to Sandhya Porritt, who invited her daughter to join her on the 7-day writing challenge. So she's roped in her daughter to do it. So Sandhya, if you're watching this, you are our first winner of this set of writing prompt cards, and my assistant Nori is going to be in touch with you to get your mailing address details, and we will post these off to you, and I hope you enjoy them, and I hope your daughter enjoys them. And thank you so much for encouraging her creativity. Having a mother like that who affirms her daughter's creativity at such a young age, you really are setting her up for a really happy creative future. So again, please make sure that you have fun tomorrow. Thank you again for your patience with today's glitches in technology. Such a huge learning curve for us. I just want to tell you that every single night we have another 100 or so people applying for this online writing challenge. So it has grown monstrously, and so we're keeping adding people. And if you're not getting your logins, it's because the system hasn't yet incorporated you yet, but we are onto it, and we are trying to iron out all of those little glitches. So thank you again for your patience. I'm sure that for the next time I run this writing challenge, we will have smoothed some of these things out. So I do appreciate you hanging in there with me, and I hope that you will enjoy your writing exercise tomorrow, and I will do another Facebook Live tomorrow. For those of you who would like transcripts of these Facebook Live sessions, I have someone who is working on transcripts every day. So if you have trouble hearing, or you have trouble, or you would like just to have the transcripts, We are a day or so behind, but we will be posting the transcripts every day for you so that you can keep those and hang on to those for the future. So have a lovely Friday, all of you. In Australia, we're already into late Friday afternoon. I know in America and on that side of the world, you're still into Thursday, but have a lovely weekend. Do not slack off this weekend. It is still part of the 7-day writing challenge. This is still your working week, so you have to stick with it. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.